Have you ever wondered if you have your own personal spirit guide? I know it's a common question I get. People come up to me, well, usually it's on Zoom, but they'll say, "Well, do I have a spirit guide?" I always wondered if I have one. Now, I'm here to tell you, yes, you have a spirit guide. In fact, you have more than one spirit guide, okay? But there are two questions that are more important than do you have one? Okay, those two questions are, what are my spirit guides here to help me with? And why do I have them? See, because by asking those two questions, you can start to understand how you're supposed to work with them, how you're supposed to build a relationship with them so you can have them help you, because your spirit guides are here to help you. They're just not like a little party, uh, game where, oh, who's my spirit guide? And that's a lot of times when people approach me, they kind of approach me about, oh, I kind of want to just know, who they are. And what I want you to get is the important part is they're here to help you. I want you to get they're here to help you with your life in making it a better, happier, more fulfilled life. Do you wish you had a little bit more happiness or fulfillment? Just about everybody I've ever met has some area of their life that they wish was better. Is that you? Where you have something, life might be pretty good, but maybe you wish you made a little more money, or life is pretty good, but you wish you had a significant other. Or maybe you might be having lots of challenges and you wish you had some help. And this is where your spirit guides can come in. Now, they can come in if it's a little problem or a big one, because you have these spirit guides that are here to help you in actually having more spiritual growth, having more fulfillment, being happier, and most of all, like stepping into who you really are and what you're here to be, do, and have. That's, and I know I'm kind of giving you like a broad perspective. I'm going to talk to you about it in a much more specific way. They help you here in a little bit, okay? So, hi, I'm Deepa Lou, and I call myself the Creative Mystic, and welcome to my art studio here, my what I call my sacred art studio, where I create spirit guide portals for people like you, because they started coming to me and they wanted to be created into physical form so that they can go out into the world and bless you with their intuitive guidance and their wisdom and blessings of helping you to have faster transformation, faster growth, and have less challenges, get through them faster. Wouldn't you like more ease? Because that's what a lot of it's about how do you connect with that guide that will help you. Now, your challenge may be different than my challenges, but you have specific spirit guides to you. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what your spirit's guide do, what your spirit's guide will do for you, what they'll do for you, why you have them, and also why I create them. Because I create them not just for the sake of creating them, but because they came forth and want you to be blessed by the blessings of higher consciousness, higher guidance. Because have you ever had a problem where you kind of get stuck and you just can't seem to see the solution? And in fact, you might even believe there is no solution. Well, the spirit guides are here to tell you there is a solution. Okay, so what I want to start with is why you have spirit guides. Okay, and then we'll talk a little bit about what. Now, I like to invite in all the spirit guides that are here. Before I started this live, I asked my spirit guides, my mother of Mary Wall, that's up here. I've been creating these different versions of Holy Mary Mother and all these versions, and this one here is Holy Mary Mother of Forgiveness. Now, I'm not sure why she wanted to do this, but she wants to be here in the time that we're going to spend together. So I'm going to ring this bell, and I'm going to invite in. Now, I'm going to just do a silent prayer today. I invite you to do one to invoke in your spirit guides. Now, when I'm doing the creation of spirit guides, I often will do one out loud. And if you see here, you notice I have a ghee lamp to invite in the energies that are here for us. And bring in the energy of like transformation, because fire transforms things, and that's one of the amazing things out there. So I want you to just take a moment and close your eyes and listen to the ringing of this bell and say, hello, God. Hello, my spirit guides, and request that you invoke them in. Okay, so let's do this together. Hello, God. Hello, my spirit guides. I invoke thy presence into this space in this room, this space out in the ethers, this space into all the spaces of the viewers who see this video, whether they be live or see it in the recording. That we ring this bell, inviting in the energy of the spirit guides. We're here to guide every belief, thought, word, and action. And just feel that vibration awakening your spirit guides. Invoking their vibration to come and be with you. So, why do you have spirit guides? Well, one of the biggest reasons, because people will say to me, well, aren't we all one? And I'll say, oh, yes, we are. And I go, well, then how can you be doing this thing with spirit guides? And I said, well, your spirit guides are a reflection of your energy, of your consciousness. And yes, we're all one, but we're these individual expressions of one, right? And so your spirit guides show up for you specifically because of the challenges you might be having that maybe you haven't been able to overcome. If you're a spiritual soul, a spiritual seeker, really wanting to grow spiritually, they come to help you grow spiritually, and they want to speed up the process. Because I don't know about you, but before I started having my spirit guides and really getting connected with them and getting the guidance, I sometimes would get intuitive guidance and it would just pass me by. Now, here's a common thing I hear. People get intuitive guidance and they go, oh, is that guidance or is that my ego? Have you had that challenge? You know, that doubt comes in, you don't know whether to trust it, and you don't act on it because you don't trust it. So your spirit guides, you have them because they're here to help you specifically with things that are going on in your life. Now, because as a spiritual soul, and this is every spiritual soul on the planet, we all came here for a reason, right? We came here to be a certain way, do some certain things, and have certain things, okay? Now, the spirit guides are really into helping you be who you came here to be. And often, people feel lost. They're not even sure who they are. Sometimes they think they know who they are, but then they find out that what they want and they go for their goals, they're unhappy. You know, they meet their goals and they realize after the first 30 days of having that goal, it's like, oh, now they feel like something's missing again. And so they feel like they don't know themselves. And that's a common thing that happens for people. They come on the planet and they don't really know who they truly are and who they're meant to be. And that's not your fault, because see, your parents, in all good intentions, come in and raise you with ideas of what they think you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to have in the world. And they create belief systems, consciousness beliefs that cause you to believe certain things that keep you from acting on what's true for you. So like for me, for instance, I came in on the joy vibration. My mom said I was the happiest, joyful, child she ever saw. And I was so joyful that when I met people, they would give me money. Just boing, give me a quarter. And when you're a little kid, a quarter, back when I was a little kid, was a lot of money, So I I would get money. But then my mom had this programming that I couldn't accept money just for being me and being joyful. And so I always had to give it back. So that programming made me believe that I couldn't be me and accept money. And I have still work on letting that go. And so you have that too. Now your spirit guides come, different ones. This is Mother of Forgiveness. I'm not sure why she came, and later I'm going to give you a little message from her because she volunteered. And that's the thing about them, is they give these intuitive guidance and messages where they want to help you, like help your consciousness get beyond those stuck beliefs that prevent you from being who you're here to be and doing what you're here to do. Because the doing what you're here to do is your purpose. Have you wondered what your purpose is or felt like something is missing? Because you came in here with something you're here to be and do. A purpose that only you can do it in the way that you would do it. Now, I see this often. People have like something they desire to do, and then they go, oh, but the so-and-so's doing it, and that means I can't do it. Or there's all these people already doing it. That means, why would I go do this? So many people are already doing it. And I'm here to tell you, because my spirit guides have told me, there is no one here that will do it like you. And so if you have a calling to do it, you have to do it because you're going to do it in the unique way that you would do it. Now, I would love to see in the comments what you, if any inklings you've had that you would like to do, whether you're live or in the recording, because I'd love to hear people share, because sharing it gives it voice, and it's important for you to give voice to what you're here to be, do, and have, okay? So your spirit guides come in because of the programming that you get, and they start to present themselves in these different forms because that's what you need to start to transcend the belief system, the consciousness that you were given that's preventing you from being able to step into who you're really here to be. So like, for instance, I got programmed that I was supposed to be very practical and responsible. I'd love to hear what you got programmed with that you feel like might be preventing you from going forward and what's true for you. So that programming that told me that I have to do what's practical, logical, responsible can stop me from doing what's joyful. But yet that's the way I came in. I was wired for joy. I was wired to do what brings me joy, which is creating these spirit guide portals. I was wired to actually like get money for being joyful, but yet that programming stopped me. So I'll go and do what's logical, even though I can get messages that tell me, do what brings you joy. That's what's going to, put your wings on you and help you fly and really step into what you're here to be, do, and have. To actually, I'll get it from different readings to do what, to what brings me joy, like dancing brings me joy, painting brings me joy, riding my bike brings me joy. And I'll opt for the practical because of the programming. Now, my spirit guides keep reminding me what I need to do. And as they continue to remind me, then I'd start to change that behavior. See, so you have spirit guides that come in certain forms to help you overcome those challenges that keep you stuck and behaviors that keep you stuck in your life. So I don't know where you're stuck in your life or if you even feel stuck, but a stuck place could be anywhere where you haven't been able to really overcome a challenge. Like you just see something keep reoccurring. Have you ever had that where you keep seeing the same problem show up? Well, that's a stuck place. That's a place where your consciousness, your belief system, your subconscious mind isn't allowing you to move forward. And your spirit guides want to give you the guidance to help you move forward. So, thank you, Reverend Francis. I don't know if you're still on, but for saying that I'd love more ease. I know I would, right? And when I actually listen to my spirit guides, I have more ease in my life. So they show up in different forms, your spirit guides, to actually give you intuitive, higher guidance on how to overcome the challenges in your life, how to actually step into who you're supposed to be and what you're here to do, that purpose that you want to be doing. So if you're in any stage of your life, because there is more than one purpose in your life. Sometimes people think, I find my purpose and that's it. And I tell people, you have different purposes at different stages of your life. You know, as you find one purpose, you may do it for a while, and then you may realize that, yeah, I've come to the full fruition of that purpose, and now it's time for me to move on to the next purpose. Or it could also be that maybe I have this purpose, I'm supposed to take it to a bigger level. And your spirit guides want to help you with that, because the very thing that catches us is our consciousness, our programming that keeps us seeing life in a certain way. And that life is this way, or I'm this way. See, your spirit guide is here to actually help you step into seeing your full, beautiful, true self. What I call my God self, the one that doesn't have that judgmental voice inside my head telling me that I'm not doing a good job, or that maybe I'm being lazy or irresponsible. Do you have a voice like that? I'd love to see in the comments if you have a voice like that that you'd love to overcome, because I have found when I commune with my spirit guides, it helps me overcome those voices. It helps me go, okay, here's my focus. Because when you get stuck, or when you find you're not getting or seeing, I would say, the same recurring problem, it means your consciousness, that your level of consciousness at where you are on your own isn't able to go beyond. So the spirit guides come in and they give guidance on how you might overcome that programming. Now, they don't say to you, here's what you should do to overcome that programming. That's what people don't get. Is they might tell you to go, like one of my clients that I work with in coaching, spirit guide told her to start painting. And she was like, what? I can't do that, because she had things around painting, okay? And didn't think she was good at creativity. But when she did it, it opened up a whole another part of her. And so they're going to give you guidance sometimes that may not make any sense, okay? But when you go do it, then you see like, it's awakening something in me. Because what they're here to do is help awaken things within you, okay? Now, so that's the why, because you have challenges and programming that is keeping you from actually seeing the next step, okay? So that's what's going on there. Now, what are they here to help you with? Now, you have spirit guides that are here to help you with all different kinds of things, but the two most important that my spirit guides came here to tell me were, one, you want to connect with your self-love spirit guide, which I had done a class on that a while back. But the other one, which is the one that's been really making their voice known lately, is your purpose spirit guide. So you have a spirit guide that's here to help you step into your purpose. Okay. And they're here to give you that higher guidance specifically on how do you step into that. Because if in any area of your life you feel like, I wish something could be better. All right. Now, I haven't really met anybody who doesn't have one area in their life that's like that. But especially if you have it in a lot of areas, like things are just beginning to like feel like a struggle in almost every area. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's in your relationship, maybe it's in your job. Like you just like, maybe you make good money, but you don't really like it anymore. Like I was in that place many, many years ago as an outside sales, straight commission sales rep, made lots of money, loved it at first for the first 10 years, I'd say 10, 12 years. And then that last one or two, I was like, I kind of feel like, there's something else out there. And I always knew I was never going to stay in that job forever. Okay. I knew it. But my practical side kept me in there because I was like wanting to like continue having that kind of money. Okay. And so your spirit guide will help you with what that next step is, especially the purpose spirit guide. They're helping you with first, how do you actually start to be you? Because the people, when they're out looking for their purpose, if you are, or you want more fulfillment, you may not be saying to yourself, I want to find my purpose, but you're saying, God, I wish I felt more fulfilled, or I feel like something's missing. I wish I could find what's missing. If you have any of those feelings, that's you looking for your purpose, okay? So you might be out there feeling that way, but you can't figure out what it is. Or here's the one I hear a lot too when people come to me, is they'll say, well, I feel like I kind of know what it is, but I keep seeing myself kind of get going and then stopping and get going and stopping, because that voice of doubt comes up and says, is this really it? Have you been there before where you feel like, is this really it? Well, your purpose spirit guide is here to help you with what you have to be first, okay? Because if you keep having that voice of doubt, it's because you're not really actually being the true you. So, and that, what I mean by that is the programming is preventing you from actually showing up and letting all of you out. So, for instance, I told you about how I got programmed. I'm going to have a glass of water here because I'm an itch all of a sudden, scratch in my voice. Excuse me. I was programmed to show up on the joy vibration and accept money from whoever wants to give it to me, but yet told not that I couldn't do that. So I had to learn, like, how do I get back to that joy? Because of that programming that I should do what's logical, responsible, and practical would kick in and keep me from doing what brought me joy. And so I have to, and I still have to work on this, okay? Because if I'm really tired or something, I can see myself going over here to the practical, logical, not the joyful, and the joyful is actually the key for me. So my purpose spirit guide, because my purpose spirit guide is actually a ballerina fairy that she comes and keeps reminding me to dance through life with joy, to do what brings me joy, to act on what brings me joy, to like get honest about what brings me joy, because I can get so much into that other stuff that I need that reminder. Okay. So you have one that's here to help you with your purpose. If you have any kind of place where you're not fulfilled, you want to get connected with your purpose spirit guide. So when you start to know like what and why you have them, then you're able to know how to start to relate to them rather than it just being like a party game, that, oh, I have a spirit guide and it's this. It becomes, oh, my spirit guide's part of my team. Like my ballerina fairy spirit guide, my purpose spirit guide is part of my team. Now, all of these spirit guides I create are part of my team, but most of them I create because they get visions come in with a specific, here's what I want you to infuse into the portal, because that's what I do, is I infuse that message and the blessings that they want to infuse into it so that it can come out and bless you. When I'm like doing this, I work with these spirit guides in any, like with my individual coaching clients or my, in my classes, but you have one that's here specific to you and you have more than one, but you have certain specific ones that are really here that come in to help you, with the particular challenge you're having. And that's the thing. People will ask me, well, do I have the same spirit guides my whole life? And I'll say, well, you have certain ones that stay with you your whole life, but you have some that just sometimes drop in to help you with a particular challenge or something that can help you get through it. So you want to understand that it's an ongoing relationship, so with your spirit guides, it's developing that relationship so that you can trust, I should say receive first, receive the messages and trust them. And it's like a friend, the more you build a relationship with your spirit guide, the more you trust it. And that happens through developing a relationship. And so I was guided to like help all you with that relationship. So if you're someone who's like really wants to start, I want to start connecting with my spirit guide because I want to have more ease in my life and I want to like be able to get through this programming and have the higher consciousness guidance to overcome this, please check out my class. I'm going to put it up here. It's deepaloo.com/training. It's a class all about connecting to your purpose spirit guide, and I'd love to see you there if you want to. And I forgot I was going to give you guys a coupon. If you saw this video and you sign up, it actually starts August 6th with this, which is tomorrow. But it's the coupon was YouTube CTYSPG connect to your CTP. I'll have to type it in. I'll put it in the notes. But yeah, it's I should actually put it up here. Let me see. Can I add one? This would be something new. Oh, here we go. I can type it in. Let me type it in here just so in case it's YouTube. There we go. That I'll put that up. That is the coupon code if you want to sign up and get a discount. It takes off quite a bit if you want to join me tomorrow in this program. But even if you don't, start inviting your spirit guides in, because your spirit guides really want to help you. And that's the message they've been telling me to, like, start putting this out, disseminate it out into the world, because we are here to actually serve and support you. They want to help you so that you can have faster transformation, overcome those challenges with more ease, and have less challenges because you'll get the higher guidance of, let me go this way, rather than this other way that you've done from your programming. And so they really want to help you with that. So if anybody's on live, feel free to put something in the comments, introduce yourself. I'd love to see who you are. If you have any questions about it. Now though, I want to cover why I create them for you, because there's a reason that's meant to help you. Okay. Because here it is. The programming that you've gotten, that every one of us in the human body have gotten, has been to believe what we see with our physical eyes more than what we believe spiritually, right? If you're tuning into this, you're probably a spiritual seeker, one who wants to grow spiritually. Maybe you want to be enlightened. I know those are aspirations of mine, okay? That I want to have that deeper connection with spirit, minus the spirit guides, okay? But that we've been programmed to believe what we can see with our physical eyes more than what we can sense with our spiritual gifts. And so I was given this, I don't want to say job, but it's dispensation, maybe is a better word, to create these spirit guides so that you have a physical form to remind you that you are not alone, that spirit is all around you all the time, here to bless you. Okay. And that, because the first thing we need as spiritual seekers are reminders. I tell people, the biggest thing on the spiritual path, if you've been on it for any number of years, is you are not going to find new. It will be that you have to remember what you've seen before. So the repetition is going to happen. Okay. You need repetition to grow spiritually. We keep getting the same problem until we learn from that problem, right? And so the spirit guide is here to remind you, let me check in with higher guidance. Let me check in with my spirit guide. And if you don't believe in spirit guides, you just believe in God, check in with God. But the spirit guides are here to remind you, you are not alone. It's one of the big, I think, challenges in the human body that a lot of people have, is they feel lonely. Now, I hope you're not feeling lonely if you're watching this, but if you are, and you start to connect and have a relationship with your spirit guides, you start to realize, oh, I'm not alone. I've got help. They give you all kinds of guidance of how to overcome challenges. And the thing about it is, I get this question sometimes too from people that work with me with their spirit guides. So say, well, I didn't want to ask my spirit guide because it seems like such a mundane problem. And I'm like, there is no problem too small for your spirit guides. They are here to help you with those challenges so you can grow spiritually. Okay. And I create them into spirit guide portals because, one, reminders, something so you can remember that you have a spirit guide. Remember that particular spirit guide, because one of the things I do is personal spirit guide portals for people who want to overcome a challenge or connect with their purpose. I actually can tune into your energy and see it, and then create it into your own personal spirit guide portal, similar to this one. But is that your spirit guides want to help you in all of your challenges, okay? They want to help you. Your purpose spirit guide wants to really help you get you into the truth of who you're here to be so that you actually do. And that's why people will have challenges with actually acting on their purpose in their life. Like I told you earlier, sometimes people will say, well, I think I know what it is, but I see myself start and stop because that voice of doubt comes up and I think maybe it's the wrong thing. And that voice of doubt comes because you're not solid in who you are and who you're meant to be, because we're all meant to be. So I use myself as the examples. I'm on the joy vibration. I'm meant to be in that joy vibration. I'm meant to do that joy. I'm meant to be it and exude it in my own beingness, because that's how I came in. And I don't every day because I can get in that logical, practical, responsible mindset, and it kind of squishes the joy. Now, I'm learning just like you to, when I see it squishing the joy, how can I change that and stop squishing the joy and get back into that joyful place? So your purpose spirit guide wants to help you first with, who are you here to be? So if you've had problems feeling like you're being authentic, you're not being true to yourself, maybe you have challenges actually following what's true for you or even knowing what's true for you, the first step would be your purpose spirit guide would help you step into that, because you're going to have problems stepping in and doing it if you aren't solid in who you're supposed to be. Now, you don't have to be where you never have a doubt in who you are, because that you wouldn't be being human if you didn't have some. But if you see yourself always giving in to what other people want or the way they want it, and you never, the moment that they come in, you see yourself just go, whoop, and you sway to their energy, then you'd really want to start developing that connection with your purpose spirit guide to, like, who am I here to be? What am I here to be? Who am I here to be? What am I actually supposed, what's true to me? What's important to me? What do I love? Because those are all things. What you love is a sign of who you're here to be. Now, I'm not talking about someone who has an addiction. So, because sometimes people say, oh, but if someone, loves drinking, and I'm like, no, that's an addiction. People drink to not feel certain feelings because of wounds that they have. And so they think that they love alcohol, but what they really are is they want to just not feel what they're really feeling. So it's like love, I love creating spirit guide pros, and it brings me such joy. The key to the love is, does it bring you a joyful or happy feeling when you're doing it? If you see behaviors that are addictive, then you know that's not something that is true for you. Because what you love is not addictive. It will bring you the joy factor. That, this feels so good. That kind of thing, okay? So your purpose spirit guide wants to help you with that, wants to help you both of those. So if you're struggling, like I said, to actually do what you think is your purpose, you got to take a step back and go, maybe I'm off point of who I'm meant to be. Am I picking too much of the logical, practical, or responsible things rather than what's true? It's one of the questions I have got from my spirit guides a few years ago, was to start asking myself, what's true? Is this true? Because what happens with the programming is that program of logic or responsibility would take over, and I wouldn't even notice it. I would just start doing it. And here's the one that I see often for people is fear. Fear is a huge programming that people get, where they end up doing stuff out of fear. They make choices by fear. See, and your purpose spirit guide is here to help you make choices out of what's true, not what you're afraid of, not trying to stay away from something, or you're making a choice because you're afraid you're not good enough, or staying in a job you don't like because you don't think there's another one that you can make more money, those kind of things. Those are fearful choices, not condemning you for them. But if you know you're ready to, I want a different result in my life, then you want to start connecting with your guides to help you with that. So I noticed a few people on live. I'd love it if you'd introduce yourself in the comments, just to see if you have any questions. Again, if you would like to do my training, check it out, deepaloo.com/training, and then use that coupon code. And this is it. It's YouTube CTYPSG. And you're probably like, why are those letters there? It's Connect to Your Purpose Spirit Guide. I just put it in there. But I wanted to give you a discount if you're on YouTube and you actually decide, hey, I'm taking this leap, And please, if you are questioning, because maybe this is the first time you've seen me, please feel free to send me a comment, and I would be happy to talk to you. I was going to put that up too. I have, there we go. If you're looking maybe for a coach or anything, feel free to check this out too, deepaloo.com for your complimentary next step connection call. It's deepaloo.com/gift. Forget all this in here. I realize that's not probably the good way I put that on there. But yeah, it's deepaloo.com/gift. Not all this for your complimentary next step connection call. I should put that in the front. So if you have any questions about your spirit guides, I'd love you to put them in there and I'll be happy to answer them. Oh, I was going to check in with Mother of Forgiveness. She volunteered, and that's the thing, when I do any of my lives, I usually bring in one of my spirit guides. They don't always give a message, but I usually always have one up with me because they always volunteer to me and say, hey, I want to come. So I want to tune into Mother of Forgiveness and see if she has a message maybe about this at all. So I'm going to turn around slightly just to connect with her. So Mother of Forgiveness is coming in, and she's saying that if you're seeing this, whether it's in the recording or you're here live, she's saying that she wants you to check in with yourself. And is there an area in your life that you need to forgive yourself for, something for it, like a mistake that you've made that you haven't been willing to actually let it go and just go, it's time to let this go? Because she's saying that lack of forgiveness blocks your ability to go for what your purpose is. Because she says if you keep, even if you're not verbally saying anything, but you keep holding on to something like, oh, I made a mistake and I'm afraid. She's saying that's where you need to look at forgiveness. See, making mistakes, as she's saying, is part of the human condition. It's how we learn. But if we let them stop us from taking that next step in our life, that's when we get stuck. And so she came and she said, forgiveness is actually important in your life about taking steps forward. You have to be able to go, okay, let me forgive myself. And it's okay if I make a mistake. And it's okay if I make a mistake again. Because she's saying that you may make it 2 or 3 times, especially if you're just operating from your programming. You might make it 3 or 4 or 5 times before you learn. And she's saying that you have to forgive yourself for each of those times. Because if you don't forgive yourself, the barrier becomes bigger and it becomes harder and harder for you to move forward on what's true for you. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, please feel free to put a comment in there and ask a question. I'd love to see what it is. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe if you want to be involved in more of my lives. I do them weekly. I have normally done them on Thursday, and I think I might do one this Thursday. It might be more painting, and one of the things is that I'll be creating one of my spirit guides. If I do it Thursday, I'm going to double check my schedule and check in with my guides to make sure. But if you're subscribed, you'll get notified and that I'm doing it. And if you like what you've been hearing here, please give me a thumbs up, a like. And if you know of anybody that would benefit from this, share it with them, because all that helps my channel. And I really appreciate your support. And I don't see any questions coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up then, if there aren't any questions. But remember, you have a spirit guide. You're not alone. And you are a powerful being, powerful beyond measure. And you have greatness within you. And it's time to shine your light. Blessings.